Can I change my child custody or support order later? Hi, I'm Oklahoma attorney Justin Mosteller, and we're going to spend a little bit of time today discussing the process for changing a court order regarding child support, child custody, or child visitation. Now, as we all know, the process of divorce or paternity litigation is pretty ugly and traumatic for everyone involved, including the kids, and in fact, particularly the kids. And so the law in Oklahoma is designed so that orders are pretty sticky. Once they're made, we want them to stay in place unless there's a really good reason for there to be a change. And so under Oklahoma law, the standard that applies for changing those kinds of orders is what's called a material change in circumstances. A permanent, substantial, and material change in the circumstances. That means there has to be some major change that impacts the best interest of the kids that warrants the court revisiting the previous order. Now, this is not an impossibly high burden to reach, and in most cases, the kinds of changes that bring people into our office looking for a modification, pretty common, like a parent moves, or the child has an injury of some kind that necessitates different parenting, or one of the parents develops a substance abuse issues. The list of possibilities is pretty endless. But all of them require a showing to the court that there has been that kind of permanent change. Once that change has occurred, you'll need to contact an attorney and file what's called a motion to modify. And that motion to modify is going to give the court the reasons that that modification is necessary. And then you'll be required to prove those things in court, if we can't get there by agreement, to show that there's been that change. And the change must be of such a nature that it is permanent, substantial, and material, meaning it's related to the children and their well-being. So a temporary change of circumstances isn't going to meet that standard. It's going to require some kind of serious change. A good example of this in terms of child support is somebody loses their job or gets a promotion and is making more. Either of those scenarios can satisfy that burden of showing a material permanent change, and that would give you a change in the child support order. In terms of modifying custody or visitation, it needs to be something that impacts the child directly. So, if you bought a new car, that's not a change. Got into an accident because of drunk driving, that could be, but it has to be shown that it's related to the well-being of the kids. If you need to change your custody or visitation or child support order in the state of Oklahoma, give the Wirth Law Office a call. Our motto is to make law easy, and that's what we strive to deliver for our clients every single day.